has got the facts for you. EX the storyteller, bringing the spark. No one does it better. EX, you've heard the rest, but she's the best. Yeah, she's the best.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning. So, of course, I was on Twitter, and this is a letter from the Department of Justice. Well, I believe this says Barracombe, and their race-based policy. Letter is so small I can't see it.
Good morning.
Hello, how
How
are
you
you?
doing?
Good morning.
Yeah, this is my first time talking, so what is the prompt saying? I can't really see it.
Yeah, I know, it's so small.
Oh,
So
and
it's actually about,
I'm
come on.
FBA. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, so if you want to know that, I'm FBA. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
thank
My
you.
father's Chickahominy. My mother's Chickasaw.
Chickasaw.
Uh
Okay.
huh. Yeah, she from North Carolina. My dad from Charles City, Virginia.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All right, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm pulling out my laptop actually because I didn't expect the print to be so small. But I want to go to where I got this letter, and it's from the U.S. Department of Justice, and it's saying that it has some concerns about a race-based policy, and I believe it's from Barracombe,
Well, okay.
Barracombe County. So I'm going to grab the letter because I've never heard of Barracombe.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
I really can't see it, so.
Right, I know. I'm sorry. I thought it would be larger.
Oh, okay.
So this was sent by electronic mail from the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, and it's dated September 4th. And it says, Dear Buncombe County Board of Commissioners, the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division has recently become aware of concerning recommendations presented to you by the Asheville Buncombe County Community Reparations Commission. The final report presented on September 2nd, 2025 includes 38 recommendations in 5 focus areas: criminal justice, economic development, education, health and wellness, and housing. I also understand that the Reparations Commission will present its recommendations to the City of Asheville on September 9, 2025. After our initial review, we are deeply concerned that many of the recommendations, if implemented, will violate federal civil rights laws, including, without limitation, the Fair Housing Act, Title VI, Title VII, and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Although you have not formally adopted the recommendations, public reporting suggests that you intend to do so. According to media statements by the county's Chief Equity and Human Rights Officer, Dr. Honorio F. Armstrong, the county has already set aside more than $2.9 million toward implementing the recommendations. My office will be closely monitoring your actions. To the extent these recommendations are formally adopted, you are now on notice that my office stands ready to investigate and enforce violations of federal civil rights laws to the fullest extent possible. And it's signed by Harmeet K. Dillon, Assistant Attorney General, Civil Rights Division. This is North Carolina. Asheville, North Carolina. It says CC Asheville, North Carolina Council. Asheville, North Carolina.gov. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I'm like, wow, in Asheville. Okay.
But that just goes to show everything that we say about race-based. You can't do race-based reparations, right? So you see how the Caribbean and the Africans say we should go at certain things together. And if you notice, I tell them that we don't go by race in America. It's unconstitutional. They don't
Correct.
want to hear that, but this letter is proof that it's unconstitutional. And they know this. They get stuff based off of their lineage that we cannot get. We just can't get certain things because they're designated for Caribbean or for African. So, well, you know the nations that they come from.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's
Hi,
good to know.
Isaac.
I said that's good to know.
Yeah, but so meanwhile, so New York has a form of race-based reparations that they're trying to push, and we keep telling them to scrap the bill and rewrite it for lineage. They're allowing everybody to speak at our reparations committee hearing. So yeah, this isn't no good for anybody.
Right.
So you gotta wonder if they do it on purpose because they know what's gonna happen.
Right.
You know? And Carmi sounds like an Indian name, like Kamala type of Indian.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you've been thinking about everything that you've been hearing on this app? How long have you been on the app?
Maybe about 6 months,
hmm
and I'm not new to FBA, but it just come to the black community. I don't look at the black community. The black community start at home. If you teach your kids respect, because see, my mother always taught me about when you get out in the world, respect people and speak to people, because that'll carry you further in the world. I don't care how much education you have, you can be a jerk, but when you got respect, people will deal with you better. And see, that's where it started. You know, you got to teach your kids how to respect and how to do things, and then you got to talk to them. But if you're not talking to the kids, you letting the kids be a kid, and guess what? When they get out there in the world, they're going to start showing the streets love. They're not going to show the home love. So far as black community, that's where it started, at home. And then at the same time, the black men's got to step our game up because we got to be an example. And that's where I'm at.
Okay. It starts at home.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as the community goes, you know what I'm saying? Because then we got to start supporting each other.
Yeah.
Because see, if you really look at it, where's the black wealth at? All we are is homeowners, and we got cars in our vehicles. That's it. Where's our wealth in
You mean
America?
land?
Yeah, far as that. If you look at all 43 million black Americans, what do we really own? You see what I'm saying? We are homeowners and car owners. You know. So, and what I'm trying to get at, we got to start in the black community. Who own our stores and the fish markets, the grocery stores? You see what I'm saying? What do we own? The homes and a vehicle. You see what I'm saying? Do that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but I could speak to a Texan and they'll tell me that down there people own like water companies, stuff like that. So it could be regional. Can our ownership of certain industries be larger? Of course.
Right.
But let's take our black farmers, right? So there was, I think, with the black farmers, and you probably know what I'm touching on. So just correct anything I have wrong.
Okay.
Other people were given incentives, namely white tea people, right? Black farmers were left out, so they sued and got a substantial amount of money, right? However, they done added some other people onto it. You know how they write black and other minority
Hmm.
groups?
Right.
So they did that thing there to them. And we only have 1% of farmers. But I do know people who moved from New York, not a lot, to the South that own land now. And one
Right.
is a farmer. So some of us, I think also we don't instill in our children the value of land. So while we
Right.
teaching them respect, we got to teach them the value of land ownership,
Hmm.
and asset building and community building too. Because you're right,
Right.
it does start at home and it starts with how we teach them as well, like
Yeah, because
economically.
see, once you start at home and you raise that kid and tell them get your education, further your education, and then as black men, we really got to step our game up because if we not being examples, the younger brothers gonna be like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and then at the same time, they want to think they can sell drugs to, sell poison to our own people. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's really destroying our community. Then the same thing, we got to stop pum each other. You know what I'm saying? So we just can't get mad and then want to go get a pum to take somebody out. We just got to let it go or stand your ground. Because when I was growing up, we were like, we fight. You know what I'm saying? We ain't
Yeah.
go get no a knife or nothing like that. We did what we had to do. But the beef was squashed. And the little stuff they fighting over is little petty stuff. So I look at it like, when we gonna get it together? And then you got you if you really look at it, don't no foreigner in the United States respect us. Don't nobody. So I'm kind of like saying, excuse my language, F them all. You know what I'm saying? Let's focus on us. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said start back at home. And once we start back at home, then the rest will fall like 1, 2, 3. Everything will fall right in place. But if we not there, if you're not teaching your home, and then at the same time, if we in a relationship, the brothers gotta say I love you because it's an action. You see what I'm saying? So we just gotta come together and see this TikTok app thing is enlightening me and it opened my eyes up. I was like, wow, I learned a lot from here. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people here where I'm at in Richmond, a lot of black folks, they lost. You know what I'm saying? And especially the educated ones. When I say about FBA, they like, what's that? And then they were like, I ain't got no problem with Africa. I ain't got no problem with that. But then they'll say they are nasty and they don't treat us right. But you do have a problem. You just said it. So for me, I just look at it like, wow, I thank God for TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't know about TikTok. Hey, they think I'm on TikTok checking out the girls. No, it's giving me knowledge.
hmm
So I ain't gonna talk too much. I'm gonna let you talk.
Oh, no problem. Um, but it sounds like because your friends and whoever you're talking to sounds like they're conditioned to expect the least and still love on the other person, right? So what I
Right.
mean by that is, you know how when we're shopping for candidates or looking at candidates,
Mm-hmm.
and we ask for stuff specifically for us, they don't make no promises, or we remind other people, look, they ain't really been doing what they said they've been doing. Oh, we're black anyway, so
Right.
that's what that type of talk sounds like. To me, I think that becoming more aware is a process. For us, some of us get it faster than the others.
Right.
Some of us may never get it at all.
Right.
But when you get that awakening, I'm not saying don't try to educate those who aren't awakened yet. You could plant a
Mm-hmm.
seed, and how they nourish it is up to them. However, don't get stuck waiting for everybody else talking about we got to come together.
Right.
Because I tell you, on this app, I don't see much like proof of this, right? Showing stuff. Well, they do show stuff like this, but I don't see the people who actually legislate on here. Now that
Right.
don't mean that they're not doing it. They're just not showing it on here. I think TikTok is for recess.
Right.
And I think and Twitter got a lot of problems, right?
Right.
However, you can go in a room and learn a lot of the information. So a lot of the information I get is through my own and also from Twitter. But I actually see them discussing when they go to the next meeting or when they go up to Washington.
Right.
They fundraise to send like regular people like us, to Washington, right?
Right.
So Twitter is a whole nother beast, right? And I get a lot of my information from there. Ish is very active and a lot of things too. Good morning, Saray. Good morning, Love and Life. Good morning, KLS. Um, but I was supposed to be off this app already. But something, modding and then, I don't know. I'm not stuck here,
Right.
but it's like I could take a little hiatus, then I come back.
Right. 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 Right.
But so what I try to do is, I guess they call it cross panel or cross site, cross app maybe. I think it's
Right. Right.
cross app, where I will gather information from Twitter and then come here and host my lives about it because I get enough cutting up on other people panels. I like a
Right.
good time, like laughing, and everybody who comes, we might crack a joke or two. But I
Right.
like speaking about stuff like this because I like organizing as much as we can publicly because you're not really supposed to tell everybody your plan. I think for the most part, FBA, thank you, Fahi. I think for the most part, FBA is the only one up here telling everybody their blueprint from A to Z.
Right.
That's why my name is the gatekeeper, because I'd be like, shh, hush. Like, I used to literally come off my mic and tell certain FBA, like, y'all talking too much.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as unity in modern day times, I really think this is the most unified I've seen outside of vote, because we're always unified when it comes to voting and
Right.
when it comes to somebody unaliving us, right? And I mean an authoritative, like the police,
Right.
like white tea supremacy.
Right.
We'll tear the streets up together. We'll travel from state to state. Um, when we face injustice, we always come together. When that happens. But this now, I think this is the most that we're unified together by especially by lineage, right?
Right.
I know we have our Pan Africans that run around and, cause some contention or whatever, but we still have people off the app. Like you said, your friends, they don't know anything about what's going on, think you on here to rap to the girls or to the women.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now there's people like them, no internet presence, but they're legislating.
Right.
So I think that I'd rather focus on who's unified, who's like-minded, and who's ready to go. Because we're like the first. Well, no, we're not the first wave. Maybe the third wave, right? And we could
Right.
come. I could come here. I could plant the seed. I could tell them what the call to action is, and then I give them those steps, those gems, in case they're not familiar with it, and then they network and nurture whatever information I gave them, and then it's up to them to take the next wave with them. But we can't all be stuck here, worried about everybody coming together at one. We
Right.
got to
Right.
show them that sometimes going against the grain works.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So don't be discouraged. I get discouraged all the time, but a lot of things. Well, not a lot of times, but I get frustrated. And there's always a FBA man, and
Mm.
that be on these apps with us. One of the brothers, like BX, you can't give up now. What are you talking about? BX, you're just tired. BX,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
then I get over my pity party, and I keep it moving.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I be in the line listening. I don't do no talking or nothing like that. Just my first time talking, so it's just I'm just
Okay.
filling it out. And I'm impressed what's going on. And then it's kind of like what I call like removing the veil, and I was like,
hmm
wow, man, I ain't know this was going on. So. And when I see now, I was like, wow. And then when I see out in public, when I see them, you get that, that vibe or that feeling. They don't even respect us, especially the Spanish folks. They do not like us. Because I have my own business and I have like seven of them work for me. And the thing I have a problem with them, when I tell them do it like this, they want to do it their way. But I know now, Chris, they don't respect you. They said I got to be humble. And I try to say, let's hire our people. But our people really don't want to work. They just want to get a paycheck. They just want to get their 40 hours. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, what do you know how to do? Because I do residence construction and commercial work, all phases of residence construction. and I build houses. And I was trying to tell them, what can you do? Oh, I don't know how to do nothing, but I can't pay you top dollars if you don't have no experience. And then at the end of the day, you really ain't trying to do nothing. When I had the Spanish guys, they knocking it out. But at the end of the job, I look for quality, and then they want to do it their way. And then when I go back and correct them, they give me the Scooby Doo look at me. You know what I'm saying? I get frustrated with that. So
Damn.
that's why I was like, man, when we gonna get it together? And I
Right.
do spend a lot of time on TikTok. So because I'm getting knowledge, and then I'm meeting people.
hmm So with your business, for the people, our people who don't really know how to do anything, so they say, do they exhibit a thirst to learn, like a desire to learn? Meaning, well, I don't really know how to do this, but if you show me, I'm a fast learner, and then they actually apply, what do you teach them? Like,
Yeah,
do
I
you
try
train
to,
them?
and I try to get with the young kids, like when they graduate, but a lot of them ain't feeling it. I don't know. It's kind of the younger generation is kind of weird to me. It seems like don't nobody. What do you want to do? Because I asked them, they talk a good game, but then when it's actually we're doing the work, their work ethic showing me they not interested. You know what I'm saying? And then I say, Chris, you got to be patient because you didn't know nothing when you first started this. So everybody may not have the speed that I have. You know what I'm saying? So you got to
Right.
give them a chance. So I am looking at that as well. So you know what I'm saying? And then it just seems like they don't want to. It just you can't tell them nothing. Then they think they know it all. And I gotta have patience with that.
hmm
So and I just like what I'm saying because like I got plenty of work and like the older brothers, they limited what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? They like I'm scared of heights. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So that
Oh,
ain't benefiting my business. You
right.
know what I'm saying? So it's kind of it's weird. And construction it's not hard and it's not easy. But if you're willing to learn, because that's what I did. That's why I try to learn it all, and then I go to take up training classes so I
hmm
can learn. So when it ain't done right, I know how to go about it. Because if you got the business, if they do it wrong, you got to hire somebody to go back and correct their work. So that's why I do a lot of training classes and taking all these classes to take my business to the next level, you know. And when it comes to the Spanish guys, they there, but the way their work ethic, they work good, but I'm just
Good
saying they
morning.
ain't hard workers like us because we outwork them. But all we gotta
Mhm.
do is put our heads together and just knock the jobs out. You know what I'm saying? And I
So,
ain't try to merge with other black business owners.
I have a
Hold on one second,
suggestion.
BX. I'm coming
Uh
back
huh.
in. No, you good. I ain't paying attention. I was keeping my mind. I got so much going on. Okay, all right. Focus on what I do. I'm working today. That's why. I'm sorry.
I have a quick suggestion for you.
Hmm.
Have you? I don't know what the housing is like where you're at, or if they could get anything close to wherever your office is, or wherever your work detail is at, whatever demographic. Did you ever think about searching for people outside your state who are willing to relocate,
No,
even
I ain't
though?
did that. I was thinking about. I was talking to a person on Friday. I may
hmm
go to get these college students
Good
and bring
morning,
them on.
DW. hmm
Yeah, I may. I was thinking about doing that. And what you suggested, like get somebody
Thank you,
out of town.
TW. hmm
That may work. But see, I'm in Richmond, Virginia. I'm like 95 miles from DC.
hmm
But it just, I don't know. It's plenty of work here, and the housing market is booming here. And they building apartments buildings like crazy. But the
Right.
thing is, I look for unity. You know what I'm saying? Let's build our people up. But it just, I had my business now for 19 years, and
Wow.
and I'm just looking at it,
Congratulations.
like wow, man, when we gonna get it together? You know what I'm saying? And it just, I mean, I don't know. It just sometimes I want to like screw it. I give up, but I can't give up. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-mm.
then I try to hook up with like people at the trade schools and get with
Thank
them
you, TW.
and try to get with them hired old guys. But all they want to do is either smoke weed or just sit back. But then their work ethic is not there. I don't know, you know. So enough person recommend me go get the college students. So I'm gonna try that, you know.
hmm Well, let me know because what my son got, he got an OSHA 30, OSHA 40, I got to tell you, he would be somebody you would have to train. But he's at the end of one of his programs. They taught him like composting, farming type stuff, and but he was telling me that he could go to any site that he see construction going on and see how many workers they have. If it's a diverse work site, and also if the equipment is set right. And if it's not set right, then he could say, you got to fix that. Or something he was telling me to that nature.
Right,
But if he's willing to relocate, he's trying to see what's going to be his next step because they're supposed to give him job placement.
right.
But Virginia is not really that far from New York. And then like all my
No, it's not.
family, they usually go to Virginia or they go to Georgia, right? And I don't know why, because we're from like South Carolina, North Carolina, but those are the
Mm.
two places that call us.
Right, right.
I personally want to go to South, not South, Georgia. But I mean, if we had to go to Virginia, if he would be, but it's totally up to him because he's a grown man. And he makes his own decisions, but I wouldn't mind following him to Virginia and we just, he gets a regular job and I get to live in the South again.
Right, right. Yeah.
But that thought just hit me, and I know that we would have to, how you say, incur all costs. So, in relocating, but that's an option that I would love to have available to him in case he decides that. And I'm foundational Black American, and he's
Mm.
bi-ethnic. But he has no children,
Right.
no girlfriend. So it's basically him and what he wants to build as his career moving forward. So I'll ask him.
Right. Because I
Well,
ask the young kids, I
I'm
say,
just telling you that, but if like you had the opportunity and he was willing to relocate,
yeah,
so
I got plenty of work. I'm booked all the way up to February, So,
oh,
yeah, so I mean, because I remodel bathrooms and kitchens, and I got a couple of houses we got to build, but I'm waiting on the city to approve the plans, the permit, So I'm waiting to hear back from that.
good
And
morning,
I just
Lily.
the work is there, and I just
Hmm.
look at us and see another thing. I don't Christian folks. I really don't deal with them because because to me, I think I'm switching it up now. I
Uh-oh.
really think the black church is a big letdown to the black community,
Okay.
because they ain't doing nothing for us but taking our money. And you know what I'm saying? If you want that word, all you gotta do is pick the Bible up. It's right there. I don't need a preacher to tell me about Christ because it's right in us. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But what are we doing in our community? You know what I'm saying? Are we teaching kids? I mean, as far as giving them back to school stuff, Thanksgiving, Christmas and stuff, that's fine. But what are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? But we still killing each other. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Somebody get
you got to code your
oh yeah,
words.
that's right, man. I'm a lie. My bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I look at. And see, I'm really big on unity.
Hmm.
That's my thing. I'm big on that. Cause if we pull together, we powerful. Cause you can see it in the sports industry. You can see it when we at work. We take over. You know what I'm saying? But all we gotta do is put our heads together. And that's why I was like, when are we gonna get it together? You know?
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. So I'm not sure if you heard before. I was saying that when certain demographics came to my attention, and
Yeah, I
I
heard.
did my research. If we provided job opportunities, that will help decrease the crime rate and stuff too. So we gotta focus on reparations. Is nice. We're gonna get reparations, but until we get reparations, we gotta practice more group economics and stuff. And I'm sorry you having a hard time finding other people, but I think the way that you're describing it, we
Yeah.
gotta go. You
Hold on
gotta
one
go
second.
outside
Yeah.
your
Don't worry
community.
about locking the door.
Uh-huh.
Just drop the garage door.
Just drop the
Yeah,
garage door.
you know how to do it? Just
Yeah, I
hit
know how
the
to do it.
pad, just drop that.
Yeah, I let it
and,
in. And I'll call you once I'm finished.
Okay. All right, Chris.
All right, Tim.
I'm gonna be around. I'm just gonna be at the job trying to clean up. I ain't heard from my boy yet, so I just gonna be all
Okay. All right, man. Sorry, BX.
It's okay. So I'm not overly religious. I'm like more spiritual too. I believe I can have church right here in my own house. You know what
Correct.
I'm saying? When two or more come together, and even by myself, when I got the gospel going and I need, to get my vibe going, my energy going, and
Right.
when I just want to connect with the ancestors. So My son
Right.
really doesn't have a uniform religion. I try to get him into spirituality, but him and my father believe in I don't have the proper name for it, but if they do good works and live a good life, and then they're doing for self, so they don't necessarily look for an outer power. What's that? A higher power?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm there too. I was deep into church, but I mean, I was heavily involved, but I just backed away from it, and just what I'm saying, because like I said, it's in us. You know what I'm saying, and I'm not being hard on. I mean, what I'm saying, I'm not knocking the church folks. I don't knock them, but I just don't. To me, I just remove myself from that because I'm not saying I'm all spiritual, but I'm there. But I'm not. I'm not gonna knock nobody. Because see, the guys will say, "Well, Chris, how you feeding your spirit?" I said, "What do you mean feed spirit? I feed your spirit every day." You know what I'm saying? I don't have to have have a prayer line going on. I'm not, because I'm not involved in church, so that making me less holy now. No, I don't believe in that. Because it's in my heart. You know what I'm saying? I know Christ is in me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm there. And I don't need nobody to coach me or try to tell me what I need to do in my life. So
Right.
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't blame anybody. I think the way I was raised, because my parents would tell me heaven and hell was here on earth. But they did allow me the freedom of religion, meaning I could go to church with my friends and their family. I went to Catholic school.
Right.
So they weren't too strict on religion. Um, so I pretty much, oh, you're Protestant, okay. You're Catholic, okay. You're Christian, okay. As long as I don't hear Luciferian, then you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Um, but for the most part, that's how I am when it comes to religion. I do wish that they were a little more firm when it came to religion, but they weren't, and so I can't go back in those days. But I try not to judge nobody, and I just ask everybody, don't, push your beliefs on me. You're Muslim?
Right. Yeah. Because
Yeah. If you're
and that's another
Muslim,
thing.
that's fine. If you're Hebrew, that's fine. If you're Christian, that's fine. But you got to know, as a Christian, I might say some things that you just may not like.
Right.
And I hate walking on eggshells because somebody is Christian.
Right. Yeah. And that's sad. And sometimes I look at it like this. Like some people think, like you got the Jehovah Witness, you got the Muslim, and what that shows me, it just what they believe in. It just show me they discipline. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm getting at is saying like what they saying they don't want to deal with the Christian folks, or more like what they saying is my God better than your God. But we all serving the same God. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, wow, man, why we got to curve like that? You know what I'm saying? Like you Catholic, I might be Baptist. So I'm gonna look at you different. No, I'm gonna look at BX because how she carry herself and she coming out with respect. I can't do no respect that. It's her demeanor. So I'm gonna respect that.
Right. Basic, you could request up if you want. Got everybody who's entering the room, what's on the prompt is a letter from the US Department of Justice Civil Rights Division to Asheville, North Carolina, to the Reparations Committee. They're telling them that they are going to be vigilant because they're concerned about their reparations proposals being race-based, guys. So this is what we said. You can't go race-based. It's happening in real time. And I got this from Twitter. I'm just filling in the people in the room, and I just sent Ish a message to see if she'll come through. But yeah. So as far as religion, as long as you're not pushing your belief on me, then that's fine. I feel the same way about somebody's orientation, and also my passion is my passion, and I could be kind of strict when somebody says they're gonna. Good morning, crypto. That they're going to. Good morning, each one, teach one. When they say they want to be a part of a call to action and stuff, right? For the most part, I'm strict on that. But if we are all activists and you got a different passion, or advocates if you don't like the activist words, then don't push your passion on me. See how we could collaborate, right?
Right.
I actually kind of lost a friend behind that. Well, a developing friendship behind that in 2015 because I read a book and I forgot the lady's name, but it was a black family. They shopped all black businesses for a year. They said it was hard, but they could do it. So my passion became group economics. Plus, I read about if you provide job opportunities, the crime rates will go down. So that was my passion, and I'm just fresh to, trying to use my voice however I could in the spaces that I was in. Every post was about, group economics, shopping black owned, things of that nature. And the person was like, well, when you going to talk about black on black crime? And I was like, I'm wondering, why you bothering me? When I'm doing a work, anyway, I didn't know how to communicate. Look, your passion is your passion, my passion is my passion. So I said it kind of really, really stink, right?
Right.
And so yeah, he unfriended me. Years later, he followed me again, and I'm like, does he know it's me? Does he remember it's me? And he's a black man too. I forgot where he's from. But my whole thing, then I found a meme with Bernie Mac on it, and they was like, all of us have a calling. There's no
Right.
need to argue about it. Do your calling, and maybe we could collaborate. I'm paraphrasing.
Right. Right.
It basically says, shut up and do what you're called to do, and don't worry about me until it's time to collaborate. I shared the heck out of that meme because it just like fit my life at that time. Um, so each stage of my life, each way I progress, I go through something with that, and that is my reminder that you can't make somebody passion be my passion be somebody else's, and somebody else can make their passion be mine. But we could respectfully collaborate.
Right.
Yeah, and so we have to learn that too. So when I'm advocating and stuff, I don't do the whole orientation thing in the other community, the alternate community, the rainbow community automatically comes first. I don't do that. If I'm advocating, I advocate for the whole ethnic group, right? I don't care what religion you are. I don't care who's in your bed unless they underage. Things of that nature. I find that other people just be like, you gotta talk about this. It's not even a suggestion. It's like a demand, and I be like, whoa, y'all gotta calm down. Um, so I just feel that's important to put it out there. From time to time, I will ask people what would they like me to research, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss it. But please don't ask me. And I hate the gender war thing. I dislike it so much. But when you mod and the host wants to talk about it, you ain't got no choice, right?
Right.
I could keep scrolling, but there's been times that I've ran in the room and I'll be like, ah, dang, are y'all serious? And I'll even say that. And what I'll do is I'll give my opinion about the prompt before the room starts filling up, and I go on mute. Because I ain't arguing it. I'm not arguing it. I feel like this. I chose wrong. And I ain't going to be on this app saying, well, black men did this to me, and this is what happened. I'm not doing all that.
Right.
I'm past that stage. I think my father helped me not be bitter, right? But they didn't have social media when I felt a little bitterness. So, whew. But now that they do have it, I think I've grown. I've grown a lot because I'm not getting up there. I really go to get the statistics and be like, look, black men marry black women more. And now my message is, don't worry about the ones who don't love you. Worry about the ones who do. And keep going. To the point where Cynthia G got in the comment section on Tasha K's page. And with the telling me black men just don't marry black women. They marrying out. Now we know that's a blatant lie because we can look at our families and see a black man married to a black woman. Right?
Right.
So I was just like, oh no. Then her minions started attacking me. I always tell that story. I think it's kind of funny, really, because she was like blatantly lying. But yeah, I don't follow people like that either. The women that's always talking about black men don't marry black women, or
Yeah.
likewise, I don't follow black men. That's black women's always like, I can't. Tell me how we gonna build and move forward. I'll leave that to the immigrants and the bitter people.
Right.
Yeah. And so I think, like, for your life to change, if you're not lucky in love in one place, lucky in finances in one place, and even in spirituality, you gotta change your location. And right now, I've been trying to hold on, but I gotta change my location.
Oh. So you
Yeah.
coming down south?
Yeah. I've been, and I can't plan nothing really, because every time I plan something, something from the outside just boom, nope, it's not happening for you today. But when I'm something spontaneous, it works out. But I was supposed to be in the South already. What you thought, Crypto? You could come up if you want. Request up. I don't mind yapping for a little while. Um,
Yeah.
Chris, before I move on to basic, do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm gonna drop down because I'm
You
gonna
gonna drop?
listen. Yeah, I'm gonna drop down and listen because I'm gonna get in here and get back to work and listen to you all.
Okay. Also, if you, well, yeah, I asked that. If you, when you get a moment, if you could just put in my inbox like what working for you would entail, and then
Mm,
I'll speak to my son and see what he wants to
yeah,
do moving
yeah,
forward.
I'll inbox you my information and all like that. Yeah, I'll do that.
Good. Thank
Yeah, and
you.
I enjoyed the conversation. Thank you.
I did too. Be
All right.
sure be sure to come join the panel any other time I'm live. I
Okay, I will.
appreciate you.
All right, but I'm gonna drop me down, and I'm gonna listen.
Okay, no problem.
And
Have a blessed day.
I'll inbox you on your personal information. I'll see all my information.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Good morning, Jimothy. You could request up too if you're not busy, Jimothy. Good morning. So I guess, did y'all hear me when I said this is about race-based policy? I posted up on my computer so that I could read it to y'all verbatim. Can't even talk this morning. Oh, you're a little under the weather. Everybody's getting under the weather. It's really rainy in New York too. Now I gotta find the post again because I exited out. So this is about Asheville, North Carolina. I believe they were having reparations here. You know what? Anybody know FBA Prime Time? Because I believe he's in North Carolina, and I believe he spoke on this the other day, but he didn't speak on this, on what's happening now. So what happened is their reparations committee meeting, commission members, had written out a 38 point reparation proposal, and the U.S. Department of Justice reviewed it. Oh, I'll tell you in a second. Let me get this out. Reviewed it and said they have concerns and they'll be watching vigilantly because what they see so far is violating the 14th Amendment. So that's race-based. So people think we stupid when we say certain things, but look, it comes right to fruition. See how this works? So it says, U.S. Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division, via electronic mail, unlawful race-based discrimination. Dear Buncombe County Board of Commissioners, the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division has recently become aware of concerning recommendations presented to you by the Asheville-Buncombe County Community Reparations Commission. The final report presented on September 2nd, 2025 includes 38 recommendations in 5 focus areas: criminal justice, economic development, education, health and wellness, and housing. It says, I also understand that the Reparations Commission will present its recommendations to the City of Asheville on September 9th, 2025. After our initial review, we are deeply concerned that many of the recommendations, if implemented, would violate federal civil rights laws, including, without limitation, the Fair Housing Act, Title VI, Title VII, and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Although you have not formally adopted the recommendations, public reporting suggests that you intend to do so. According to media statements by the county's Chief Equity and Human Rights Officer, Dr. Noreel F. Armstrong, the county has already set aside more than $2.9 million toward implementing the recommendations. My office will be closely monitoring your actions to the extent these recommendations are formally adopted. You are now on notice that my office stands ready to investigate and enforce violations of federal civil rights laws to the fullest extent possible. Regards, Harmeet K. Dillon, and I'm willing to bet they are Indian, like Kamala's Indian. And Harmeet is the Assistant Attorney General of the Civil Rights Division. Anybody want to get their thoughts? Basic?
Okay, so I'm trying to understand. um, so they're trying to, is it trying to zero it down by ethnic group or something?
They saying that the Reparations Committee has issued 38 key points that they would like implemented for the Black people of that area, right? It didn't really state race in the letter, but we do know that North Carolina is holding reparations, and I believe FBA Primetime told me that they were having them there, right? But we didn't get into anything about it. It was just a quick mention during a live. So we do know that it's for our people, right? Reparations. So what they're saying is that it's going to violate, they're concerned that the proposals they have seen will violate Title VI, Title VII, and the Equity Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. And so they're putting them on notice that if these things are implemented and it's not done in a non-discriminatory way, then they will be held in violation. Now, what the violations are, I don't know. I just grabbed it and came and went live for a little while. Thank you for gifting, y'all. Thank you for the likes.
Okay, but I guess I just wait for more information because I kind of confused by it, to be honest with you. Like, they say that discriminating against who? Because this is pertaining to what is it called? Reparations, right?
Yes. Okay, so so first of all, anybody feel like I could do it? If North, so what was the civil, what's the 14th Amendment about? U.S. Citizenship, right?
Right, correct.
And so right now we do know that the immigrants are considered citizens under the 14th Amendment, correct?
Correct, currently, yeah.
Okay, so now if it's just for Black people and they're excluding everybody and it's not work, okay, so Simon always says this, and anybody else you speak to, when they say it's lineage-based, we have to be on one accord with verbiage. We have to use for our phrases for who we are. We can't use Black American or Black people or Black community We have to use like freedmen and United States descendant of chattel slavery. Like we got to make it lineage based because we're a specific group that was harmed since slavery was allowed in our state borders or our federal borders, but it's state, right? So, if it's going to violate the 14th Amendment and the immigrants are still considered citizens because of the 14th Amendment, then if they implement those proposals, but the other people aren't included, oh, here comes Ish. She will probably be able to put it more eloquently than me. Um, then North Carolina is at fault. Hey, Easy does it. Hey, Day Day. Hey, Ish. I see. Um, Asheville, North Carolina. The United States Department of Justice has just told them that if they implement certain reparations proposals, then they will be held in violation. And so I was just reading that to them, and I'm trying to, clear up any confusion for everybody. But I know you could say so much better, Ish.
Okay, so basically
Oh,
they are.
thank you. So Jimothy says I can also put it through Chat GPT. Can you tell me where to get this at? It was on Twitter, and I got it from Dr. Pamela Denise Long. She is a politician, and she's also a doctor. It might be trending by now. Okay, I sent Ish the invite, but she might be a little busy. It is kind of early, I guess. And it's rainy up here, so I don't know. I know I get tired when it's rainy. I don't want to get on nobody panel. Well, sometimes I do. But go ahead, Basic.
Yeah, excuse me, I might be sounding a little slow, but I'm trying to make sure I understand the context of everything. So this is, I'm assuming based off
Good
of
morning, Sonia.
how I'm hearing it, this is people that are outside of the lineage trying to claim that our reparations claim is discriminatory. Is that correct?
It's the United States Department of Justice. They have what it sounds like is that the Reparations Commission had to make public the intent to institute or implement certain proposals for reparations, and their office is vigilantly watching it because some of those proposals will violate the Title VI. It'll violate the Fair Housing Act, Title VI, Title VII, and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution.
So we need to, so basically just narrow it down to ethnic group instead of race.
Correct. Lineage.
Okay. Yeah, lineage. It needs to be lineage based, and that's what a lot of them been saying anyway. Okay, so I get it. So that's a good thing because that really enforces what we've been talking about as far as letting go of the whole the whole one race thing. We have to get away from that anyway, because these people, they're trying to call themselves, they're trying to go by our name anyway. A lot of them are claiming to be African American now. So we definitely gotta, if we're gonna refer to ourselves as freedmen or whatever it may be, we need to make that decision and go with it, whatever we decide on. But it has to be something that's exclusive to us that they cannot claim. Now with freedmen is good because they had the freedmen, what is it called, the freedmen I think it was the census thing. It was like 1870, I think.
Freedmen's Bureau.
Yeah, the Freedmen's Bureau. So we have that on paper where we can actually, a lot of us can actually go back and do our genealogy, and we have that to back up our claims. I think that would probably be the best bet for us overall. and they have no ties to that. So yeah.
Correct. So it says if they change the wording and make sure it's lineage based, it doesn't violate the 14th Amendment. Um, Hi, Sonia. So real fast is it also mentioned the Fair Housing Act, Title 6, Title 7. Um, Let me see. Yeah, and okay, it says the Fair Housing Act, Title 6, Title 7, and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Do you know what the Fair Housing Act is Title 6 and Title 7? It sounds like they were asking for some type of housing incentive. I want everybody to go home. I want everybody to go home. These people ain't work for nothing.
Hey, what up, BX?
Hey, crypto. Thank you for gifting everybody.
Yeah, I was just looking into what they were asking for, and yeah, that's what it was. They were asking for like housing, and it looks like transportation for mothers or some along those lines. And they saying if North Carolina, if they